In this video, I want to talk about why women take men for granted. And the first obvious reason is that men outnumber women 7-1 on dating apps. So if you have a woman on a dating app, she's going to get 7 times, probably more action than a guy is ever going to get. The other reason is that now, because of the Me Too movement and all of these other issues, men are terrified of approaching women. They're scared of approaching women, so they don't approach women, but then they're left with dating apps. And on dating apps, you have 7 times more men than women. Then you get to the other problem, and that is that women are only attracted to the top 15 to 20% of men. The other 80% may as well be irrelevant. They may as well be invisible. This has become more prominent nowadays because of social media and dating apps, because you have a woman who lives in the middle of nowhere. Before, the only guys she was going to be interested in were the men in her local town, local city, local village. Now women have access to an entire country, an entire world of men. So they now judge men by a different standard. And they're not going to accept the village idiot anymore when they can go off with some guy who is ultra successful in the city and they think that they're worthy of such a man. Because high-value men, yes, they will sleep with low-quality women. Yes, they will bang an average-looking woman and use her for sex. And then these women get the idea that they can actually keep a man like this, when in reality, they can't keep a man like this. They just are able to sleep with a man like this. So you get this illusion from women of excess supply. Now, what happens when there's too much supply? Value decreases. When a woman thinks there's too many men, they've got too many options, they don't appreciate those options anymore. That's why you'll find that women who are now, a lot of the times they're on social media, and let's face it, Instagram is like Bumble, it's like Tinder. Guys are hitting up women all the time, and women are getting all this heat, and they think that I've got all of these options with men, not high quality men, by the way, but I've got all of these options with men, and so they start to look down on other men, they start to disrespect them, they start to take them for granted. There is another thing which I would say is also important, and I think that that is in prosperous countries like Western Europe and the States and Canada and Australia and countries where there is a lot of wealth, and the boomer generation has passed on a lot of money to Gen X and millennials and Gen Z. Women don't really need men anymore, because they have a lot of money, they are often taken care of, they have their own jobs, and they're often doing a lot better than men in the workplace because they have more education, and they are in a workplace which supports women, where HR is essentially run by fleets of women. So you're in a society where women are given the advantage, and this is very, very difficult for men. And so women are economically doing, in general, much better than men. Where do men fit into the grand scheme of things? Well, there's 3 things that men can really offer women now. And these are 3 really important things that women can't live without, even though the feminists would love to believe that women can live without these 3 things. Women want love. They want it like men want sex. They want to be loved. They have this insatiable desire to be loved. Second of all, women want to be protected, even though they don't really need to be protected, but they want to have that feeling, that biological feeling of security. A man's physical presence is very important. Third and final is sex. Women want sex because they want to have pleasure, but they also want to have babies. Women want to reproduce. So men are not expendable, men are needed, but what we offer women is no longer financial security. It's no longer financial support. They'll take it from beta males. Sure, they'll take it if you have it. But what you can really offer is sex, love, and physical presence, physical security. That's it. And women need that. They crave it. So don't forget that. Even though you might feel like you're expendable, even though you might feel like you're not desirable, women still want you, they still crave you, but you have to give women what they really need, not what they want. I talk about this in great detail in my book, Atomic Attraction, which is based on over 120 scientific studies. And if you want to book a phone or email consultation with me, you can book a consultation with me on my website, developatraction.com.